Barbeck is a proud sponsor of local H&R Preps.
Kelly, I just got a new cell phone. It's awesome. And I just shot a video of Nick at the game tonight. Oh my God, he is so cute. I'll send it to you right now.
We help you stay connected with a cute picture here and there. Buy local. Buy Barbeck.
Hello and welcome to this week's Preps Preview. We're done with football, moving all into basketball. It's all in at this point.
All hoops now.
The season is over for football. Alongside Justin Kahn, I'm Leroy Bridges. We're going to get going into these city teams. I got a good look at them last week. You saw MacArthur once. Eisenhower finishes the Decatur Turkey Tournament 0-3. They lost all three games, including the last game they played against MacArthur. So the Generals finished 1-2 from the day you were out there and some of the stuff that I've been telling you about and you've been reading. What are you thinking about right now with those city teams?
Well, I think that they're, both young teams are going to be a lot of guys on these teams that you don't know their names. Yeah. I think Kiston Lee's a name that a lot of people know from MacArthur, but beyond that, it's a lot of new faces or guys that haven't necessarily made their mark yet. I think that there's capabilities on both of these teams, for good games on a given night. I think they both have some athletic ability. Eisenhower likes to get up and down the floor and run around a little bit. I think Kiston Lee is a good start, and they have some good shooters around him. So there's going to be nights where they play well, but there's also going to be a lot of nights where they're inconsistent, they don't play well. And, I think the Big 12 is supposed to be a little down this year. Maybe, if one of these teams can catch a little fire, they can do something. But I do think that they're going to have trouble picking up a lot of wins.
Yeah, you look at Eisenhower loses a D1 player in Gerard Oldham playing at Buffalo, and MacArthur just lost a great, talented senior class. And we saw that in football, and we're going to see it in basketball. It's fair to say that it's a transition year for these teams. But with that said, there are some guys on the teams that could make some noise. You mentioned Kiston Lee. On Eisenhower's side, Robert Calmes, he's got a ton of athletic ability. Consistency is an issue, as it is with everybody on the roster, but he's got the ability to pick somebody's pocket at midcourt and then fly in for a dunk. Chris Martin showed some of that athletic ability for the Panthers. He had an open court dunk, a double-double the other night. So there are some pieces out there. I think, like you said, it's a matter of putting it together consistently against some pretty good competition, and maybe an opportunity there in the Big 12.
And I think the games, they've played once now. They'll play at least 2 more times, maybe 3 more times, because they've been meeting in regionals. Those are all going to be good games. I think these are real evenly matched teams with sort of a different styles that make for going to be some entertaining games between those two teams. Yeah,
we've got a couple weeks in since we've done our last top 5. Justin, has yours shifted around at all?
A little bit. I've looked at some stuff and changed it a little bit. I have moved St. Anthony into the top 5 at number 5. They played real well in their own Turkey tournament. I know they beat Flora, they beat Vandalia, so a good start for them. James Jansen, I believe, had I want to say close to 30 points against Flora. So
scorer for them big time.
Off to a good start. Number 4, Pana. They haven't played yet, so they're number 4. I think they start either tomorrow night, I believe, Tuesday night. Number 3, Nokomis. Had some good wins early. Derek Bork's been playing well. Been playing some real good defense. Sort of you'll see scores from them every once in a while where it's like 37-27 because they play such a good defense.
This is kind of your team. You like this team, don't you?
I do like this team.
Okay.
I saw them last year and I saw they had Bork back and definitely like their style. And number 2, T-Town. They have a couple wins this year. Nothing that's really standing out to you yet, but we know they're going to be good. So I did drop them though from number 1 to number 2 because of how well Lincoln has played. They're number 1 for me. They pretty much dominated everyone at that at a pretty good tournament at their place. Cahokia wasn't even close to their night. Jordan Nelson's putting up some huge numbers for them. So, they're my number 1 team right now.
Well, looking at my top 5, a little shifting. I kept Sangamon Valley in mind. I dropped them a little bit. They're in the 3rd place game at their Thanksgiving tournament, so we'll see what they can do. They lost to South Fork, which is not Salt Fork, the defending 1A state champ, but it was a pretty good game. They're getting some balance from Jordan Colebrook, which they need to help Eric Leonard and Dan Renstrow out. Number 4, Mattoon. They won the Thanksgiving tournament they were in.
St. Anthony, right?
Down in St. Anthony. So they look pretty good. That's a team that maybe we didn't fully have on the radar, so we'll have to keep an eye on them. Pana, be seeing them Tuesday night against A&M. See how the Panthers look in their opener. Number 2, Jordan Nelson in Lincoln. made 9 threes the other night, so
Right.
he's shooting the rock as well as he always has, really. And number 1, T-Town, they checked in, tied for the number 1 spot in the Class 2A poll with Hales Franciscan. I mean, that's a pretty good nod. I know we thought they were going to be good, but they got some respect from the rest of the state.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving forward, talking about the Macon County tournament, basketball tournament boys on the boys' side that starts up early next week. So we're going to have an opportunity to preview it right now. What's something that you're kind of looking forward to with this?
Well, I know, this is so wide open this year, and probably more than any other year, you can look at this and go, I don't know who's going to win it. I wouldn't be surprised at 3 or 4 different teams.
Definitely.
A team I'm going to say, I'm going to throw out a couple of teams to watch. Morrow Forsyth and St. Teresa, just because we know nothing about these teams. We know that Morrow has a really good coach in Chad Kluver. We know that St. T has a new coach in Tom Noonan, but a pretty athletic class.
Yeah.
They haven't necessarily proven it in basketball yet, but Aaron Michael obviously was our player of the year in baseball last year, and when he got in games last year, he was exciting. So, you don't know what they have. Same with Maroa, but you figure they're going to have some athletes, and who knows what those teams can do.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what those teams look like because, like you said, we have no idea. I'm looking at Sangamon Valley. I mean, if there is a favorite, they've got to be it. And the pressure's cranked up now for the Storm. They've got a kid, Eric Leonard, who can average 20 a game. They're starting to get some consistency from Jordan Colbrick, and Dan Rentschler is kind of their beef down low, even though he's not super tall. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with higher expectations and probably the front runner if I had to pick one in this tournament.
Right, and a team not used to being the front runner.
Exactly.
I mean, and Meridian's still there with a lot of guys who have been on teams that have been front runners. So that's going to be an interesting. If those two teams meet, that'll be interesting to see. Kind of the old guard against the new. What could be the new guard. So interesting tournament.
All right, we'll talk about girls basketball here for just a second. T-Town and Cowden-Herrick Beecher City had a heck of a game over the weekend. Tell us a little bit about it.
T-Town beat Cowden-Herrick Beecher City 63-61. I believe that was on Saturday night in the finals of the National Trail Conference tournament. Cowden-Herrick had a great year last year, but they didn't play T-Town real close. I think they were close for like a half, but that was it. So this is a really impressive performance from them. They might have won, but Jesse Went for T-Town scored 41, which is
crazy.
Unbelievable. On the other side, Faith Linty had 29 for Cowden-Herrick. I mean, she's a good player, but you don't necessarily expect her to to score 29. Micah Jones only has 11, but they're definitely more than just Micah Jones. Bailey Doty had 3 3-pointers. Brianna Strock had 8 in that game. So, a balanced effort for them and something they really have to be happy with, even though they lose the game.
Yeah, and that's a matchup of one of the best teams in 1A, one of the best teams in 2A, and I think for Cowden-Herrick, you have to be encouraged by that game. I know you're in it and you lose, but only getting 11 from their best player, Micah Jones, and still having a chance to beat Teutopolis, who has proven year after year that it's one of the best programs in the area. I mean, that's awesome, and what a heck of a game from Jesse.
Right, and T-Town doesn't always have that one dominant player, so I kind of think that bodes well for them. I mean, because the other girls can play, and then you have somebody who is going to command a ton of attention this year.
For sure. All right, make sure you check out hrpreps.com all week long for full basketball coverage.
Make sure you sign up for Pick'em as well.
Right.
We have a new Pick'em contest for basketball. Make sure you sign up for that as well.